Hey y'all, it's your girl Symone. Welcome back to my channel. If y'all can see by the title, today's another story time. Before we get into this video, y'all already know what to do. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, give a girl a thumbs up, comment down below. Don't forget to follow me on all my socials. Instagram at Vivalayoshii, TikTok and Twitter at Lifewithsymone, and follow my business page at Brishari. And while I'm telling y'all to follow Brishari, make sure you shop Brishari too. And this time, cause y'all, it'd be so funny when I say I'm gonna insert something, cause some of y'all be clocking me, telling me you never inserted. So I'm gonna actually just show y'all. I went and got the bags. So y'all shop Brishari. Y'all see the tote just dropped, the gray tote with the red in the inside. I don't got the wallet in here, but it do come with a wallet. And then here's the pink one, pink, and then the inside of this one is pink. And then the wallet is in this one. So this is the wallet that they both come with, a cute little wallet. And then y'all already seen this one dropped on the first, the heart bag, period. Shop Brishari, because we not playing. 2025 our year, and we just let me stop, I'm telling too much. Okay, let's get into it. So y'all, this story time is about Joe. Unfortunately, I had mentioned this a little bit on TikTok live, so I was like, why not go ahead and tell the story, because it's funny now when I look back on it, but like when I was going through this, y'all, I was fighting for my life and I was just stressed out. So let's get into it. So anyway, around this time, me and Joe was on a breakup, whatever, because we was just really on and off so much. Like I told y'all before, I think I told y'all in a story time when I told y'all he put the glizzy out on me, which is private because of a lot of reasons. But yeah, I had mentioned like he did not want me to go to school. Like he did not want me to go to college for nothing in the world. Like he was so insecure about me going to school because he really felt like I was gonna leave him for a man from neighborhood, which I didn't leave him for one. Like you literally just kind of pushed me away, and then hey, I was in the hood. So anyway, he was kind of like insecure, so like we was like on and off. And one thing about it too, this was around the time when he started kind of like getting money, so you already know what happens with that. You could stay down when he broke and dusty and dirty and a bum, and when he get up, he gonna move on. So anyway, he was doing a little good for himself, and he would always come and look out and stuff like that, but he was getting attention from girls, and it's like, I got money, I could take a girl out and look like that dude. So that's what he was doing. So anyway, like I said, we wasn't really on the best of terms. We wasn't on a actually relationship term, and we haven't actually been talking at all. So he ended up calling my phone, a ring, a ring, a ring. At this point, I was on, and I had talked to 7 at this point, but me and Joe was back. So yeah, we took a lot of time away from each other at this point, but we'll always keep communication. Always be like when I was dealing with 7, it would be like I'll still be cool with Joe, and then it'd be like, it was just a lot. Anyway, so he ended up calling me or whatever. I ain't talked to this boy in like a week. He like, what's up, what you doing? So I'm like, nothing. And he was all like, you got gas in your car? So immediately I get irritated and I get defensive, because now I ain't talked to you in a week and you about to call and ask me for a favor, because you know I'm always here. So I was like, no. So he was like, oh, okay, well, I'm about to come pull up and take you to get some gas. I'm about to fill your tank up. Y'all, immediately I felt stupid, because imagine I'm being a bitch, like, no, I don't got no gas in my car. Like, I'm not gonna do him a favor, and he actually finna come do something for me. So I was just like, oh, okay, thank you. He's like, yeah, I'm about to pull up tonight. He was like, so I'll let you know when I'm there. I'll be there in a little bit. So y'all, I'm excited. I'm juiced, because I'm just like, okay, now me having to, I don't gotta ask my grandpa for $20. So when he ended up pulling up or whatever, y'all, he didn't tell me he pulled up. Just instantly somebody started walking in the house, like walking through the door. So excuse me, somebody started walking through the door. And mind you, me and Joe was like so comfortable with each other. So when he said he coming over, I never felt like, oh, let me get cute or something, because you seen me looking a mess, and that's how you gonna see me if I ain't looking up to par. But anyway, so he ended up just walking through the door, and I knew it had to be him, because my grandma and grandpa, when they would come to my door, they always knock. So I'm like, somebody walking in is always gonna either be a friend, or it's Joe. It's somebody who just feel the need to think they could just walk up in my house, which used to be annoying, because grandma stopped just letting people in the house, because they know me. These people could be coming in to whoop my ass, and you over here just letting people in the house. So anyway, so yeah, he walked in and he was just like, what's up? He got a big smile on his face, and he had a big chain on. He had just got a chain, I guess. So a new one. So I'm like, hey, like, what's up? So I was like, let me put some leggings on real quick or whatever. So he was like, no, you ain't even got to. He took his shoes off and plopped down on my bed. So I'm just thinking like, oh no, it's not gonna take me long. I just gotta put some leggings on. We go straight to the gas station. So he was like, nah, like, let's put on a movie or something. He was like, you ate? You hungry? Did I eat? Am I hungry? So I'm like, Well, my grandma cooking. He's like, yeah, I smelled it up in there. What she finna make? Like, I'm hungry as fuck. I ain't ate all day. Like, what? I'm hungry. What's she cooking? So I'm like, she making pork chops, but she ain't making enough for you. Cause that was honest. Like, she was not making enough for you. Like, she only bought enough for this family, and you are not a part of it. But no, I'm just like, yeah, it ain't enough for you or whatever. So he like, oh, okay, well, let's go get something to eat. Or he's like, I don't even really feel like going nowhere. Like, we could order a pizza or something like that. Like, order one. So I'm like, or we could just go get the gas. Because what is you talking about? What is you doing? So I'm like, or we could just go get the gas. Like, I'm not tripping. Like, you ain't got to give me nothing to eat. Like, it's cool. He was like, nah, like, I want something to eat. He was like, and we could probably just go get the gas in the morning or something. In the morning? So I'm like, Joe, what you mean by that? So he like, oh, I can't spend a night up over here. Like, what, you be having dudes up over here or something like that? And that's one thing too. Like, I didn't ever, like, even if I did like talk to, date, whatever, different guys or whatever, I never like had different people in and out my house. Like, it was only a handful of people that actually came in my house. Like, for real, because yeah, no, I don't play that. So I was just like, no, I don't be having nobody up in here. But I'm just like, you spend a night is crazy. That's one thing that used to be irritating too. Like, never let somebody just have access to you, because it's like he knew what he could do, he was doing. Because it's like we would go without talking, you do whatever you do, and then you feel like you could just pop up, come spend the night, and everything's supposed to be cool, and we just not gonna talk about what, you know, the elephant in the room. So I was just, but at that point, you know, I didn't know no better. So yeah, so I was just like, okay, I guess we could go in the morning or whatever. So we's talking or whatever, and he telling me to order a pizza. As I'm ordering a pizza on my phone or whatever, I was like, I'm gonna just do it online. He started talking to me. He pulled out a whole bunch of money and he started counting it in front of me, and that used to be irritating too. That's why when y'all be asking me like who is different, like who is worse between Joe and Crazy, they had a lot of similarities, but I would just feel like Joe, I'll have more of like a connection with. Crazy, it was like talking to a fucking brick wall. But anyway, like, but they had a lot of similarities. They felt like they had to will me in a life with money, and it was like I was with you when you would be dead broke, and I, you know, like, but it's not even about that. But I don't know, it was just weird. So anyway, so he ended up coming in, he putting the money out, he trying to count on the bed like 1 2 3 this 7 1 2 3 this 8 1 2 3. I'm just like, okay. So then he was just like, yeah, guess where I was at the other day? So I was like, where? So he had told me this restaurant or whatever in the hills in Hollywood, Yamashiro. So I was like, oh, you was in Yamashiro? I was like, oh, I heard about that. It's cool or whatever. So he was like, yeah, I was up there or whatever. He was like, and guess who I was sitting next to when I was eating? I was like, who? He was like, you would never guess who they set me next to. So I'm like, who did you get set next to? So he like, yeah, I was up in there. I was right next to that nigga Tiger. I was right next to him. It was a whole bunch of celebrities in there. Basketball players, football players, everybody was up in there. Like, it was like, man, you know, just people with money, you know, we rubbing shoulders and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh wow, for real? He like, yeah. And I'm just over here getting sad, y'all. I instantly start getting sad because I'm already knowing if you was out to eat, you was not out to eat with your homeboys, you was out to eat with a girl. And why are you over here telling me about it? You could have told me you seen Tiger at the Slauson. I don't know. You didn't even have to tell me you seen this nigga. You ain't got a picture, so who cares? So he like, yeah. So whatever, he telling me all this other stuff like that. And I was just like, oh, that's cool. So I'm looking sad, and he like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, nothing, you know, just listening, like, finish telling me. So he like, oh, okay, yeah. So I'm over here eating steaks with LeBron and shit, you know, and I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm just thinking like, you is really pushing it. Just because y'all at the same restaurant, y'all's not eating steaks together. So he just like, yeah, telling me all this other stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to take you one day, like take you somewhere nice. You gonna have to put on some nice and we go out somewhere. So I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. So he was just like, yeah, he was like, but I was with this one girl, you know, and I didn't even like how she didn't even do her hair. Here he go. It's like I wouldn't tell him why I was sad, but he knew I knew. But it's like, oh, nah, I gotta rub it in your face even more, ho. So he telling me like, yeah, I was with this girl. He was like, and I ain't like the way she did her hair. She did that little old school shit. Remember with the little bump thing y'all used to do? So I'm like, a hump. He like, yeah, a hump. I was like, she did a hump? Because at this point I'm so confused. I'm confusion as hell, because why the hell is you doing a hump in what year was this, like 13 14? Why the fuck is this bitch doing a hump? So I was like, a hump? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh wow. So he like, yeah, she did a hump or whatever. So then he just kept talking about it, like he going in on this hump, and then he's talking about rubbing shoulders with LeBron, eating steaks with Tiger. I don't know. I just couldn't help it, y'all. And I used to be so emotional back then. Like, I did not know how to control my depression episodes back then. So it would just like flood, like, yeah. So I was just like, instantly I just started tearing up, y'all. I'm tearing up, and he like, why are you crying? Like, what's wrong with you? Why are you crying? So I'm just like, because like, I'm gonna talk regular, and then I'm for real gonna talk regular. So I'm like, because like, you over here telling me all these things, and you're telling me about how you was with somebody else, but yet you're here, like, you're confusing me, because this would be our thing, like, it would be just like this. And he's like, how am I confusing you? You be talking to that one dude who be doing XXX videos, which he's talking about 7 and 7 did not do an XX video. I guess it was a video of him doing the do with somebody that was going around for some odd reason. Don't know why this man recorded himself doing the do and sent it to whoever, Lord knows who, or whatever. Or maybe it was she knew that got by the nigga and he seen, and it was in her phone. I don't know. Who knows? Because I ain't never seen this video. So he was like, yeah, you be talking to that dude that be doing them videos. And he was just like, and yeah, and you be doing your thing, so I just didn't think you care. Like, you know, we good, we always good, we friends. Like, I didn't think it was a problem. So I'm like, but you know, like, I love you. Like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear who you been with. I don't want to hear this, you taking somebody out. Like, how are you saying like we friends, but then you'll come around and we have our moments. Like, it'll be like he disappear, he'll come around and we be good, we go on dates, we doing it, you know, like it's like we're together and then we get into it and then you so what are you talking about? So I'm like, you know, like how I feel about you and you know how you feel about me. So it's like, come on now, be real. So he like, no, you know what? He was like, and you didn't let me finish though. You didn't let me finish. So I'm like, well, he was like, going on that date made me realize like nobody compares to you. Like, you're the only person I want to be with and you're the only person I love and you're the only person that this, that, and the third. And I just really love you, Symone. So I'm just like, at this point, I wasn't like that though. Right now, as I'm saying this to y'all, I'm like, but back then, this is me. Oh my God. I'm just so excited. Like, that girl that helped make this man realize he loved me. So I'm just over here like, oh my God, like for real. He's like, yeah, I really want to be with you. Like, and that's basically what I was getting at with this. And he was all like, and you didn't let me finish. Like, I got something for you. So I was like, you got something for me? He was like, yeah. He was like, first, before I show you what I got for you, he was like, did you see my chain? I'm like, oh yeah, that's nice. He's like, yeah, you didn't even tell me you liked it. Like, do you like it? I was like, yeah, it's real big. It's bigger than the last one. It's nice. He's like, yeah. Like, I love my chain. It's real nice. He's like, but when I went and got my chain, I got something for you too. And I'm just thinking like, oh my God, what'd you get me? So then he pulled out out of his pocket a little gold box, right? Thinking like, oh, he got me some earrings. He opened it up and he was like, you gonna be my wife one day, Symone. Y'all, I started eating that motherfucking shit up. You would think that motherfucker put some bossa nova in front of me the way I start eating that shit up. So I'm like, what? He opened it, was a little ring up in there. It had a little like fake diamond. It wasn't a real diamond, but it was real gold, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, so he had opened it up or whatever, and I'm just eating it up. I'm like, you got me a diamond ring? He like, yeah, I got you a diamond ring because you're gonna be my wife one day. Like, I realized like it's time to stop playing. It's time to settle down. We young as fuck. He like, yeah, it's time to stop playing, it's time to settle down. Like, I really want to be with you. So I'm eating this shit up, y'all. Now I'm really over here smiling, but I'm still kind of crying because I'm like, did this man just propose to me? Didn't get down on not one knee, not two knee, not nothing. He didn't crease a sneak for me, nothing. But I'm over here smiling. Bitch, what's your problem? So he over here started hugging me. He was like, yeah, I really love you. And he just started kissing my forehead. And I'm over here like, The next thing you know, my grandma knocked on the door. Symone, it's a pizza man here. Why would you order pizza when I'm cooking? Da, 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 da. So I'm like, oh shit. So I ended up grabbing the money from him. And I was like, let me go pay for it. So I'm telling her like, no, let's still eat. This pizza is for him. And I'm just over here. She like, why are you crying? Like, what did he do? Yeah, what he could leave. So I'm like, no, grandma, it's fine. He had just got me a gift. So she's like, she hated him. Y'all know she did not like that boy. So anyway, I go get the pizza and I come back to the room. So now we just chilling, we watching movies, and I'm just happy as hell. Like, y'all, I took a picture of my hand, like, and posted a picture. I'm just so happy. Like, I'm excited. Your girl is getting married. Like, what? So let's fast forward to the next day. So the next day roll around, he took me, he filled my tank up. He telling me like, yeah, I'm gonna take you out. We gotta go on a date. I want to do this, that, and the third. We gotta celebrate all the stuff. I didn't tell nobody I was getting married, y'all. I didn't tell not a soul. But I'm happy as fuck. I did post the ring, but I didn't say I'm getting married. I just posted it like, thanks babe or whatever. So y'all, I'm engaged, right? It's a wife. So anyway, my sister ended up coming over, right? That same day. She came over to the house and we chilling. So that same day, I ended up hitting up my sister. That's when she had moved out here. So I hit her up and I'm just like, girl, what you doing? Like, you want to come with me somewhere? And she was like, where are we going? I was like, I gotta go to the Slauson. Because y'all, he bought me a ring. It was time for me to buy him a ring. Some hood ghetto love shit. Because I went straight to the Slauson to buy this man a ring, right? So I was like, I gotta buy him a ring. So I picked her up and I was telling her, I was like, girl, when she got in the car, I'm like, she like, what? This is cute. Oh, this is cute. I'm like, Joe bought me a ring. She was like, he bought you a ring? I'm like, yeah, he said we gonna get married. So she was like, oh my God, she just happy for me, y'all. Happy as fuck for me. That was our problem. Us hanging out was just the worst because we both used to be delulu as fuck together. just encouraging the delusional we was both doing. So she just like happy for me or whatever. So I'm like, I gotta go to the Slauson and get him a ring now. He didn't tell me to get him one, but I want to surprise him one. So she's like, oh yeah, we gotta go. So we go to the Slauson or whatever. I'm happy as fuck. We recorded because I always used to record everything about my life. Like me and her old videos used to be so funny. I used to always just record shit. So we recording stuff at the Slauson. We just having a time. We walking around, whatever. Dude's trying to talk to somebody, trying to talk to me. This me. It's a wife. Y'all, so anyway, I finally go to this one jewelry spot and I seen they had these rings. I didn't know what kind of ring to get him, and I just instantly seen this nugget ring. This how ghetto this shit is. It was a gold nugget ring, and I'm like, oh, this one, he gonna love this. So I'm trying to like ask the guy, he like, what size you need? I'm like, I don't know what size he is. And he like, okay, well, what size is his shoe? Like usually it's kind of be like the same as your ring size, or a little bit higher or whatever. So I'm like, oh, he this size. So he like, okay. So we like fake trying. I'm trying it on my thumb, like maybe it could fit his finger. You know, I'm excited as fuck about this ring. I'm just happy, y'all. I'm literally, yeah. So he's like, what is it for? So when he asked me, he was like, is it his birthday or something like that? I'm like, no, we're engaged. He bought me a ring. So I showed him the ring. He was like, oh, okay. He's like, so this is his engagement ring? I said, yeah, that's gonna be his engagement ring. You should have seen the way that man looked at me like, bitch, you buying this nigga a nugget for his engagement? Come on now. So I'm happy as hell. I bought the ring, excited. My sister juicing me up like, girl, he gonna love that ring. Anyway, so then I end up calling him. I'm like, hey baby. Y'all, we back in a little lovey-dovey stage. So he's like, what's up? Like, how you doing? Like, what you doing? So I'm like, nothing. I'm like, I'm at the Slauson. I'm not too far from where you at, because I already knew where he was at. So he was like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah, so you want me to come pull up on you? I got a surprise for you. So he's like, you got a surprise for me? So I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay, you could come pull up real quick. You know, we just chilling stuff. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna be long. I'm with my sister. I just want to give you your surprise and then leave. So he like, okay, like come pull up. So I pull up over there, y'all. Remember the story time when I told y'all we had caught the bus to go to a baby shower, and then come to find out that he was dealing with the girl who was pregnant, but that was not, he wasn't dealing her when she was pregnant, but they had messed around before, and it was at his homegirl house. I forgot what I named the homegirl, but that's the house he was at, right? So we go pull up over there or whatever, and I call him. I'm like, oh, I'm outside. I never used to just go to the door or nothing. Like if I pull up over there or whatever, I will always just tell him like I'm here. And so I was like, oh, I'm outside or whatever. So he like, all right. He come to the car and he walking up and he just smiling. He like holding his pants up, and he like, I don't know, maybe they was gonna fall or something like that. So when he walked up to the car, I rolled down the window and he give me a kiss through the window, and I'm like, I'm excited. I was like, I got you. So he's talking to my sister like, hey, what's up to her, whatever. So I'm like, I got you something. I'm just nervous as hell. He like, what'd you get me? So then I pull it out and I was like, I wanted to get you a ring too. So he's like, never. I'm like, yeah. He like, nah, cuz you didn't give me no ring. I'm like, I got you a ring. He opened it up. He seen the nugget's face smiling, because like I said, this some ghetto shit. So he appreciated that ring. So he like, oh my God, hold on. He put it on. I was like, yes, we really get it married. So now we holding our hands together with our rings together. I was like, let me take a picture. Let me take a picture. So he let me take a picture. I was like, yeah, like I just wanted to get you your ring too, because you got me mine, you know, basically. So he like, oh, okay, yeah. Like he just happy. He's smiling like, damn, cuz. And then so it kind of threw me off, because when I seen him walking up holding his pants, it was like throwing me off. But then with the ring situation and us taking a picture, it threw me. I kind of forgot. But then I remembered. I was like, why you holding your pants up like that? He was like, oh, because I was up in there just chilling in my drawers. Why is you chilling in your drawers at your homegirl house? Sometimes, why are you chilling in your drawers up over here? He's like, nah, because my pants, they got a freaking dog, and the dog had got my something. He said they was washing the dog, and it got his pants. Something, he had made up some story, right? So I was like, oh, he's like, yeah, so it was in a dryer. Y'all, my apologies for the whole little color scenery. It's been hours later. But anyway, let me finish. So where was I at? So yeah, so he made up this big story about how his clothes was in the dryer because of the dog and all this other stuff like that. So I'm just like, whatever. I'm not thinking nothing of it. It went over my head. A little bit I was like, let me pay attention to that, but it wasn't nothing too much for me to argue about, because it's like, y'all, I just gave my man his engagement ring. Yeah, so that's what I was talking about on Twitter. I did not propose to him. I would never propose to a man, ever, ever, ever. I could say never, because I never will. Like, I would drink the ocean, literally, and go climb Mount Everest before I ever do that. But anyway, so yeah, back to the story. So I gave him his ring or whatever, and then I was about to get out the car, and he was like, nah, like you ain't got to get out the car, like it's cool. He was like, and plus I ain't trying to be outside over here. You already know how this is, because she lived in the hood, like his homegirl. So he's like, you already know how it is over here. He's like, I'm finna go back in the house, and I'm gonna come see you later. I'm gonna see you in a little bit. So I'm like, all right, whatever. And he's like, yeah, we could go out to eat. Like we gotta go on a date. Remember I told you, he said we gotta celebrate. So I was like, all right, whatever. I leave. I'm still juice smiling from ear to ear. I'm just singing. I'm like, oh, because I already always had in my head, I'm like, I already knew what my wedding song was gonna be. y'all, I don't know why it's crazy, because it was like, even though he gave me the ring and he said I was gonna be his wife one day, this nigga did not ask me to marry him. But I just still was like, I don't know where I even picture this. I will always picture a big wedding, but I wasn't even picturing it with him, and that's how I should have known it just was not gonna be that. So anyway, I ended up going back home, and my sister eventually went home too, because we just spent the day together, and it was like whatever. So now let's fast forward to later that night. Later that night, he told me to get ready. We was finna go out to eat. So I get dressed, y'all. I get dressed. I put some heels on. I'm looking cute as fuck, looking good, smelling good, all that shit, right? So he ended up pulling up. I go outside. He dressed kind of cool or whatever. He got his chains on. He looking like somewhat nice or whatever. So he was like, you got heels on? So I was like, yeah. He was like, oh, okay. Well, nah, it's cool. It's cool. Don't even worry about it. So I was like, why? He was like, nah, we could just go to this other spot. Like, we could go here then. Because I was going to try to go to, like, Dave & Buster's or John's Incredible Pizza or something. Dave & Buster's or John's Incredible Pizza? Hold the front door. I'm all for fun and games, food, fun, and laughter. I love a good arcade. I love doing stuff, right? But you told me we was gonna go out for real. You took this hoe to Yamashiro and you finna take me to Dave & Buster's. Something ain't adding up. So anyway, so he like, yeah, no. But we go to this other spot, whatever. We go to this other spot. Y'all, tell me why, because I ain't did it in a while. But tell me why this nigga pull up to the Fridays in Inglewood. Did this nigga pull up to the oh, that's not Inglewood. But this nigga pulled up to Fridays, period. TGIFs, the Magic Johnson one. Yes, he pulled up to Fridays. So I'm like, he must got something going on in his parking lot that I don't know about, because what the we doing at Fridays? So I was like, oh, what we doing here? He was like, we finna go eat. Like, we finna go up in here. So I was like, we going Fridays? So he like, yeah. He was like, oh, yeah, what, like, you don't want Fridays or something? And I'm just like, oh, I thought we was gonna go somewhere else. That's where our heels. That's where I wore heels. Not like that, like, you know, but I just wouldn't have worn no heels Fridays. So he like, what's the problem? Like, my thing is, I still wanted to take pictures, so it was like, okay, cool. But it was like, you had me thinking something different. Like, why the fuck I'm getting this? You know, I'm not against Fridays. I love it. I love it. But yeah, what? So anyway, we end up going inside, and I'm not like no person that's just like super, like, I wasn't finna let it ruin my night, because at the end of the day I did want some mozzarella sticks, but it was still just like, what is going on? So we sitting there, we talking and stuff like that, and I was like, let me see your ring. And he was like, he showed me it, right? So we over here, I'm posting a picture. I took a picture of him by like on the other side of the table, and I was like, ooh, I'm like this. He was like, what you doing? So I'm like, oh, I was just taking a picture with you, and was like out with bae. And I know that shit used to be confusing, because they probably used to be like, once this come back into your life, girl, you act like you never left. So I was about to post a picture, and he was like, nah, like, don't post it. I was like, why, you want to take pictures or something like that? So he like, nah, like, I don't, like, we don't need to be posting and stuff like that, like, doing too much. So I was like, what? Because mind you, Joe, who are you? You don't hit me with that. We be taking pictures, you be posting, like, what's going on? So I'm like, why? Like, it's too soon. Mind you, I know we did kind of get back together the other day. You gave me a ring and we supposed to be getting married. But I know all this happened over like 24 hours ago, but still. So he was just like, nah, like, you know, it's just kind of too soon or whatever. So I was just like, oh, okay, like, I don't get it. So I'm like, whatever, like, we could take a picture or whatever. He like, yeah, we're gonna have somebody take a picture of us. That's just kind of how he was spinning it, right? Just try to see. So then I had brought up the situation about the pants again, because now when you didn't want me to post a picture, it's really making me think some other shit, right? So I'm like, and I don't listen. That's one thing about me too, because now if you got me thinking that somebody is watching my page, I want them to see it, because I want them to tell me what's up if you're not gonna tell me. So I had ended up posting on Facebook, because he was a Facebook ass nigga, and I ended up posting on Facebook like out to eat with whatever the fuck I used to call the man. So then I'm like just waiting. I kept checking my thing, refreshing, because come on, somebody tell me. So I'm like, yeah, again. So I'm like, so when did they get a dog? And he was all like, they always have a dog. Like, it ain't they dog, but it's the brother dog. He be coming over. He had it up over there. He was watching the dog, whatever. So I was like, okay. I was like, who's all up over there? And he like, just this person. He naming people. I'm like, okay. He was like, yeah, they cousin. So he had mentioned a cousin. Let's just get a girl named, dang, I can't think of nothing. Let's just get a cousin named Lele. So he was just like, yeah, they cousin Lele was there. Low-key, I don't even need to get this girl no name. You know what? I'm not even finna get this girl name, because I don't need to give her no name. So he was like, their cousin was there. So I was like, when he said the girl name, I was like, oh, okay. And then I thought about it, because I always would ask him like, oh, who was all up over there? Because I'm really just trying to see like, if anybody, what a friends that he used to talk to was there. So he said the cousin name. I'm like, she be over there a lot? Because now I'm thinking, I'm like, he be mentioning this girl name. So I'm like, oh, she be over there a lot? So he was like, yeah, she been over there like a few little times or whatever. She been like back and forth, like stand up over there. So I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'm like, I need to go back over there with y'all. Like, they cool as fuck. I need to go over there. So he was like, oh, yeah, like one of these days. I'm like, yeah, I told her like we gotta hang out. Talking about the homegirl or whatever. I forgot what I named her. But I was like, yeah, telling her because she used to always be like, we gotta hang out. Dang, you know what? I'm gonna get a cousin name because I'm not even mentioning the homegirl name, so I'm not mentioning the homegirl name, so it's gonna get confusing. So I'll just get a cousin name. Let's just call her Lele. So he was like, yeah. So I was like, oh, I'm saying about his homegirl. I'm like, yeah, she be saying like we need to get closer and stuff like that. So I was saying like, oh, well, next time you go over there, I'm gonna go up over there because he was saying he was gonna go tonight. He was telling me he was gonna go back up over there tonight. He was like, after we go eat, he was gonna drop me off at home. Then he had to go handle something, and then he was gonna come back to my house. So I'm like, what? Like, you know, so I was like, I'll just go with you. Like, I don't mind. I'll just go with you. You don't even gotta drop me off. We go straight there so it don't like take up too much time. So he like, nah, it's cool. But he kept saying he had business to handle with their cousin. And then I'm just like, something ain't adding up. So then when I was like, oh, okay, so I'm like, so the cousin, the cousin Lele be there, and then like a boy cousin too, like you be handling business with. So he like, yeah, like he be there too or whatever like that. So I was like, okay, so what y'all be doing? Because now I want to know, yeah, you did just come into some money, but it's not making sense. All of a sudden, they got these magical cousins, right? So he just kind of like talking, but I could tell he was lying. He could tell that I was getting irritated. And I told y'all I could not handle my emotions. So I'm over here and I'm looking at him. Y'all, I started looking sad. So he was just like, not this shit again. So I'm like, what? Like, what? Like, I was like, are you lying to me? Like, just be honest with me. So he was like, I'm not lying to you. Like, I'm for real. So I was like, so why you don't want me to come with you tonight? Like, because you know it's not making sense. So he was just like, well, I just feel like it would kind of be disrespectful, and I don't want to like hurt nobody's feelings. So I said, how would it be disrespectful if your wife, your fiance, if I come over there with you, and how would that hurt anybody's feelings? Like, I'm confused. But I didn't say all that. But I was just like, how would it be weird like if your girlfriend come with you or whatever? So he was like, when did we get back together? Y'all, he hit me with the when did we get back together? I said, you got me a ring and you asked me to be your wife. He said, I said we gonna get married one day. Y'all, so he started clocking me. I said, but then why did you take an engagement ring from me? He was like, I didn't ask you to buy me this ring, like you just bought it or whatever. So I'm like, what? Y'all, so now I'm just sitting here like confused, like, no, he not trying to flip something. Something is going on in that home. So I was all like, Joe, just tell me what's up. Like, what's up? So he grabbed my hands. He was like, he reached his hands across the table and he grabbed my hands. I'm holding his hands. He like, so like, you know, like when we was on our break or whatever like that. And remember I told you the girl I went to eat with and she had the hump in her hair or whatever. So it's Lele. So I was like, who is Lele? He was like, it's they cousin, like the cousin that be over there. So I was like, so you've been talking to their cousin, that's why you've been over at their house. So I'm like, oh, so did you do anything with her earlier today? That's why your pants was, now we get into a whole little argument. I'm loud, so I'm like, wait, so I'm literally getting loud, and mind you, this is a ghetto ass Friday, so the waitress had the motherfucking nerve to come over there and ask me to be quiet, cause how this motherfucking is ghetto. So I'm like, yeah, so I'm talking or whatever. I'm like, wait, so he like, man, nah, but he yelling too, so maybe you know what, you could have still told him to shut the fuck up, not me. But cause maybe she just was scared for me, like the way he was kind of like getting defensive. I don't know. So he was like, nah, I ain't did nothing with her. He was like, but you know what? Like we was over there talking. He was like, nah, but the dog story is really real. Like it was really a dog getting washed and my pants got wet. So I was like, that's weird as fuck. You just laid up over there at their house. The lady came over there. She was like, somebody is complaining. Didn't nobody complain. She was like, you guys kind of like quiet it down a bit. So I'm like, no. Because I was irritated. Do you not? One thing about it, I hate when I'm arguing with and somebody tell me I'm too loud. That shit irritates me. So I was like, no. So I was like, wait, so you was up over there with her and you finna go back over there with her now? So he like, no, I really been getting money with his cousin. I'm like, it's always you getting money with somebody. Because now I'm irritated. You literally stopped what I had going on, which was nothing because Seven never really took me serious either. But whatever the fuck I was doing, you came into my life and he knew that he had that effect over me to where he could come into my life at any given moment and I would just break for him because I always felt, for some reason, not now, but I always felt back then like this was my one, you was my person. Don't know why. But yeah, so I was just like, what? Like, you know, I was just hurt. I'm just like, what the fuck? And I get so mad back then, I'll start crying. So I was like, what? So I'm low-key like tearing up, and he was just like, man, let's just go, let's just go. Mind you, our food ain't even came out yet, so they just saying something. He like, let's just go. So I'm like, no, I want to eat, knowing damn well I ain't gonna be able to eat none of this. You know, when you hurt, you can't eat nothing. So I'm like, there goes the little weight I gained. So I'm just like, nah, like, so he like, I'm really be getting money with his cousin. Like, I ain't did nothing with her. Like, I told her, me and you back cool. I was talking to her today or whatever like that. He was like, I told her we back cool, so it ain't got nothing to worry about, but I wouldn't bring you over there. He was like, but I promise you it ain't nothing like that. So I was like, oh, I don't want you up over there then. You're not about to be just hanging out up over there or whatever like that. And he was like, and I was like, nah, you know what? You said we ain't even back together. I was like, whatever, I don't give a fuck. Do whatever you're gonna do. Like, it's cool, it's cool. I started taking the ring on and off my finger. Cause honestly, like, one thing about it, I don't get attached to stuff that people buy me. Like, somebody could buy me like you know how some people be like, oh, this man bought me these bags and now I have to get rid of them. Like, no, I don't. They're my bags. I don't have no attach. I don't just get attached to certain things. Like, especially if I like it. And I like rings. So I was like, I ain't giving this one back. So I was just like taking it on and off just for dramatic purposes or whatever. So he was just like, so you gonna just take the ring off? I said, you said we ain't back together no way, so why does it even matter? Like, I was like, it don't even matter. So he's just like, man, come on, let's go. He stood up. He's like, let's go. Let's get up out of here. Let's go. Like, let's get up out of here. So I'm like, no, we finna eat our food. The lady come back over there and she was like, are you guys gonna be leaving? Bitch, can you shut the fuck up? So I was like, can we talk? Can we talk without you interrupting us? And she was like, they're just asking. I said, well, go get the manager then. So he like, no, we ain't finna do all that, Symone. Come on, let's just go. Come on, let's go. So I'm like, why? So you could go over there and be with her? I was just so irritated, y'all. It was embarrassing because it's people looking. It was this one goofy ass man. I would not forget his face. He kept looking back, like, looking all back and stuff, looking at me with this stupid ass look on his face. Like, don't look at me. I'm going through a lot. So anyway, so I'm just like irritated, but I'm crying. So he's like, come on, you embarrassing yourself. Like, you look stupid. Come on. Oh, y'all, I end up getting up. I'm like, man, whatever. So we getting up to walk off. Here go the lady. So you guys are going to be leaving, or are you guys going to come back? What the do it look like? So we start just walking out, whatever. We go to the car and I'm like, nah, you're weird. Like, you weird. You really a waste of time. Like, you wasting my time. He's like, I told you I want to be with you. Like, I don't want to be with her. Da 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 da. I already told you I don't like that hump that she did in her head and da 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 da. All this other stuff like that. He just like talking. So I'm like, whatever, like, you weird. We get in the car and it's the most like awkwardest silence ever. So he just playing music and he just like looking, but it's like he got a crazy look on his face, like if something really is going down, and he just stressed out about some shit, but he was not saying nothing to me. And he was like, I'm just gonna go take you home. So I'm like, you really finna take me home? He's like, I'm gonna take you home. I'm like, if you take me home, don't ever come back in my life. Don't ever pull back up to my house. Give me back my nugget ring and don't ever talk to me again. Like, for real, if you gonna take me home and you finna leave, because I know you not, like, come on now. So he was just like, nah, like, I just think like we need some time to cool off. So I was like I said, give me my ring back. Don't ever talk to me again. So he was like, all right, man. And he was like, so you gonna take the ring back? So we giving back rings? I'm like, I'm not giving you back this ring, but just give me back the one I bought you. I said this man's name. You Big Bank Joe now. So Big Bank Joe, you could take a L with this ring, whatever. You probably gonna spend like $100 on it. Give me back my ring so I could go sell it and get me something. I don't know what. Or give it to somebody else I end up dating. I don't know. But I was just so irritated, and I was like, yeah, so it's quiet as hell in the car. And next thing you know, his phone started ringing. Y'all, when I looked at that phone, because I'm like, I'm finna throw this phone out the window. It was really giving, because I'm like, I know you ain't lying. I know you motherfucking lying. So I was like, answer the phone. He's like, nah, I ain't finna answer. This is how it is on his lap, flipped over. He is not flipping it over. He not looking at it. I said, answer the phone. He's like, no, I ain't finna answer. I'm not finna answer. And I answered the phone. He's like, Symone, why would you want to do that to yourself? Like, I'm not finna answer. I'm not finna answer. And I was like, it's her. Why is she calling you? If you told her that you back with me, why is she calling you? So he was like, Symone, I'm not finna answer the phone. So I'm asking him, I'm like, did I ever see her before? Like, did she ever see me with you? Like, dude, she know me? Like, that's weird. Like, that's weird as fuck. He like, I'm not answering the phone. So I'm like, answer the phone. I'm trying to reach for it. So then I finally reached for the phone and I answered it. It was like a no caller ID. So I answered it. This nigga silent, because the phone on aux. He's silent. He ain't said nothing. So I was like, hello? So then it was like, bro, why the fuck you ain't been answering the phone? Like, I'm over here at such and such house. Talking about he at the homegirl house. His homegirl. This the cousin, the boy cousin. He really did exist. So he like, I'm over here at her house. He's like, I'm at my cousin's house. Like, where you at? Like, why you ain't answering the phone? I thought you was gonna be back over here around this time. So he like, oh, my bad, cuz. Like, I'm gonna pull up right now. Like, you know, I had something going on. Like, I just had something to do. So then I'm just like, So he was like, yeah, I'm about to pull up right now. I'm about to pull up right now. So he was like, all right, cuz, like, cause there's really some money on the floor right now. He was like, yeah, so, yeah, everybody up over here too, such. So he's like, bro, all right, I'm gonna pull up, bye. He hung up the phone, cause oh boy clearly was finna start naming people. Like, that's crazy. And I just started laughing to myself, and I turned all the way like this in the window. I'm laughing. I'm like, that's crazy. But I'm literally crying too. I don't know why I was laughing, like I thought something was funny. How I was dying inside. So he just like, man, you see, like, he really calling me, like, I'm really been getting money with her cousin or whatever. So I was like, nah, it's cool. Like I said, take me home, and we just ain't never got to talk no more. Delete my number, do whatever you gonna do. I really don't even care no more. So he was like, nah, you coming with me. He's like, you coming with me. I'm just taking you with me. I was like, no, take me home. Take me home. I know, so confusing. Like, girl, do you want to go home or do you want to go? So I'm like, take me home. I'm like, nah, you coming with me. You coming with me. He looked so irritated. He just still driving, but he like this how he was driving. I don't know why he was like this, driving like this, and he like biting something. I don't forgot what it was in his mouth, but it was something he was just kept biting on. And he just like looking, like he just looked so like it was a lot going through his head, and it was stressing me out, because what is you thinking about? So I'm like, you could take me home. I'm not tripping. So next thing you know, we ended up pulling up to the cousin house, and he pulled up like double parked and hopped out the car, walked around to my door and opened it. Like he opened, like he was finna yank that get off the door. It was like, come on, let's go, come on. You wanna see what's going on? Come on. So I was like, no, I'm cool, go in there. I don't even wanna go up in there. Cause y'all, I just knew, cause I'm like, if this cousin is here and how emotional it was, I don't wanna go up in there crying, cause I don't want somebody to see like we going through something. I don't know. So he's like, come on, no, come on. So then he started getting too loud, and the homegirl who house it was, her sister came outside. So I was like, you know what? I don't know one thing about me. Like, if me and my person is arguing, I'm gonna act like we is not arguing around people. It's gonna give like, what is you talking about? We weren't arguing. Like, if my man still be having that animosity, I'm gonna be like, what are you talking about, babe? Are you crazy? Like, yeah. So I was just like, I hopped out the car and I'm just playing it off now. So I'm walking behind him and we go into the house. Y'all, we went in the house. He went straight to the room, and the cousin, when he walked in first, mind you, I'm behind him. The the homegirl sister already looking like, no, he not, when I was getting out the car and walking behind him. So we walked right in the room, and when I tell you, she was like, Joe, where your ass been? Roll up. So the boy was like, yeah, where you been at? Like, he like, man, cuz we was out to eat. Like, I was with my girl, was out to eat. So he like, come on, cause mind you, he walked in and I'm standing in the hallway, cause I was like, I am not trying to go in there. Like, I know I did say I wanted to come, but come on now. So I walk up in there. When I tell you, that girl face looked like her heart fell to her fucking ass or something. The way she was looking at Joe, like she had tears in her eyes. Like, she was looking so fucking broken. And this is me. Oh, hey, what's up? And I said, what's up to them. It was awkward. When I came out, I swear it was like they all laughing and it was laughing and loud. But when I came in here, it was like quiet, to where it was like everybody looking at each other. And I'm kind of like, the girl is kind of like tearing up. Like, she looked hurt. She looked so hurt. Like, you could just see so much hurt in her eyes. And then here's me. I'm like trying to put on a fake smile, but you could see the hurt in my eyes. I look at Joe. This nigga look like he fucking finna cry. I said, ain't no motherfucking way. So when I seen him look, he was looking at her. The way they was looking at each other, like she was looking at her and he was looking at her, like, and he was doing a smile, but he looked at hurt in the eyes. Y'all, that shit sent me. It sent me, because I said, he care about this bitch. I was hurt because I said, ain't no way he feeling bad, because he just, for one, you didn't have to bring me in here. I mean, I said I wasn't going to talk to him again. I probably was. But I just was like, no. So it was awkward. So then the boy was like, so yeah, so you gonna roll up or what? He was like, yeah, we could roll up, we could kick it, we could whatever. So then I was just like, cute, take me home. Y'all, my eyes is watering. I start crying. I know she could probably already tell, like, oh, he must have told her. So I'm like, cute, take me home. You said, he's like, no, we finna, you know, puff real quick. Like, you trying to hang out. Like, you said that you and talking about the homegirl, y'all said y'all gonna hang out and stuff. So then the homegirl, she's like, oh yeah, Symone, like, yeah, we did say that. But it was so awkward. The girl had ended up getting up and she left to go out the room. She didn't say that, she just walked past and went out the room. And when she walked past, when he looked back, I was like, oh, because y'all, my eyes is already filling up. So I was like, can you just take me home? But I'm like trying to like hold my tears. And nobody asked him what's wrong because they probably already know, like, we could see what's going on right here. So he was like, I'm like, you just take me home, like, I'm just tired, like, I'm just ready to go. So he was like, you ready to go? Like, you ready to go? And I was like, yeah, like, I just don't want to, like, I'm just ready to go home or whatever. So he like, all right, well, I'll just see y'all tomorrow or something. So the boy was like, man, bro, I thought we was finna go. He's like, nah, I'll just see you tomorrow. Like, we finna go to the house. Like, I'll just see y'all tomorrow. And he walked. When I tell you, the girl, it's like when we walked by, it's like she came out that hallway bathroom so quick and just stared at us, walked off. Because, y'all, we walking off, and this is me. I turned back and looked at her. And I was just like, what the fuck? It was the most awkwardest moment ever. We get in the car. He just starts sitting there. And he, like, looking down. And he just started, like, hitting the steering wheel like this. And I'm not saying nothing. Because I'm like, this boy did pull a glizzy out on me. He kind of ain't all the way there. So I don't know what the fuck going on through his mind right now. But just take me home. If you want to be with her, I do not care. Do not harm me in the process. Go, bye. But I am going to be hurt, though. But, yeah. So he's sitting there. I'm not saying nothing. So I'm just, like, looking over at him. And he just, like, fuck. And he just looking out the window. He started rocking and all this other stuff. So finally, I was just like, yeah, if you got to, you know, if you getting money with her cousin or something, like, you could just come back and just take me home. You know, when you're in a situation and you kind of know somebody is a little off and you not knowing which way they gonna go, you kind of just play things off. Like, I'm not about to argue with him and be like, bitch, you was over there crying for this hoe. You know, I'm not gonna do that because I'm like, hell no. How I feel right now about him playing in my face is, my life is more important than how I feel right now, for real. So I was just like, yeah, you could just come back. So he's like, nah, we gonna just go to the house. It's cool. Like, I'm not worried about it. So then I was like, you sure? He was like, yeah, I'm not worried about it. Y'all, they had a window in the front. Why you could see the window open, you could see them looking through the window. Oh, girl is one of the people looking through the fucking window. So I see him look. I see him just staring. He just stopped and he was just staring. So I turned around and I looked. And I just start crying. Yo, I just start crying because what the is going on right now? Literally, we've been apart for a week. You fell in love with a bitch in a week? What's going on? So I'm just like crying, and he was just like, he turned to me and he was just like, I love you, Symone. Like, I really love you for real. Like, I told you, we really gonna get married one day. Like, we not taking these rings off. So I was like, you for real? He was like, yeah, I'm for real. Like, we not taking these rings off. He's like, for real? Like, you know, like, you trust me? I was like, yeah. So then he gave me a kiss and he was like, all right, let's go. We gonna go to the house. Like, we just gonna grab something to eat since we didn't even get to eat. He was like, or you want to just go somewhere? Like, we go sit down and eat. Like, whatever you want to do. We could do whatever you want to do. So I was like, no, we could just grab something and go to my house or whatever. So he's like, all right, let's do that. Or you want to go to a room? Like, you want to get a room? Like, we could get a room tonight. We don't even gotta go to your house. So I was like, it don't matter. He's like, all right, we're gonna get a room. Like, no, we not. We just gonna get some food, get a room, and we just gonna find a jacuzzi room, and we just gonna have a cool little time. Like, we ain't even, don't worry about it. So I'm like, okay. I'm still like emotional because when he talking to me, he would look at me, but then he kept looking. I knew what he was looking back at. That stupid bitch looking in the window like a damn puppy. Why is you fucking staring at us, hoe? Why is you hurting yourself more than you have to? Sit down on the bed and stop staring at us. The hell is wrong with you? So I'm just like, it was just hurting me because I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on, but this is too much for me. So we ended up driving off or whatever. And now he kind of, at first he was driving like kind of just like deep in thought still, and then he started turning himself up. He started playing some Boosie. So next thing you know, he's singing and he rapping, he throwing up his hood, he looking over at me. He like, sing it, Symone, but I'm still crying, y'all. I'm still emotional as hell. So he like, sing, you ain't gonna sing the song, come on. And I'm like, bring that ass over here and let me touch that cat. He like, yeah, when I say fuck me, you gonna fuck me back. Hitting my leg, just, you know, going in. I'm like, that did good. That did good. I'm just really going through it. I don't understand why he was trying to turn up with me. I was really, it was at the time. So anyway, we finally end up getting some food. We go to the room. We just had a cool time. He just kept trying to like reassure me that everything was cool and whatnot, whatever like that. Nobody was calling his phone. I don't know. He probably blocked old girl. But it was cool, right? We had a cool night, even though I cried damn near most of the night. And we just had a cool time. We didn't find a jacuzzi suite. Maybe that would have helped the relationship out a little bit. But yeah, we found us a cool little room and we was cool. Everything was straight, right? So I ended up going home. Probably like the next 2 days, we still a little lovey-dovey. He would call me when he at old girl house because he'd be like, yeah, you see it? He had a cousin get on the phone like, yeah, he with me, sis. I am not your fucking sister, nigga. So, but he would always keep calling me like, yeah, I'm here. Or he'll send a picture of himself throwing up his, just do little stuff because he wanted me to, I guess, he wanted to fake make it seem like, oh, I just want you to know like I'm not doing anything. Her cousin do live here, but it's not on us like that. I literally just be in and out, in and out. He wasn't at their house as much as he used to my knowledge. But yeah, so it's probably like a good week or two. We good. Post me on Facebook. I'm thinking everything cool, right? Let's fast forward to a week later. Like 1 or 2 weeks later that went by. Everything's straight. Everything's solid. Like it's straight. It's good. I'm thinking like, okay, me and Joe back together. We gonna get married. We gonna have these kids. Y'all. So anyway, let's fast forward. One night, I called his phone because he was supposed to come over, right? I called his phone. He not answering the phone. He forwarded my call. One thing about it, I hate it when anybody forwarded my call. I had it so bad because from dudes forwarding my call that I don't like hearing voicemails. Like, my sister could tell you, if I call her and that phone ring twice, I'm hanging up. Because it's something, I'm kind of getting better now. It's been years. But I was so traumatized by hearing the voicemail sound because from getting forward and just knowing, like, it just traumatized me. Like, I literally would call somebody and let that shit ring once or twice. After that, I'm hanging up. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear it. Even now, when it come down to hanging up the call, I have to hang up first because I used to it just traumatized me so bad from being hung up in my face and just the voicemail. It drove me crazy. So when he sent me the voicemail, I said, I know you fucking lying. So I'm like, hold on. One thing about it, I'm like, let me call him again. He didn't answer. So I was like, let me try to call him private, which I don't understand how dumb it could be, because if somebody just called you and you didn't answer the phone and now you're getting a private call, it's them. So I tried to call private and the phone answered and they hung up. What? So I said, oh no, oh no, oh no. And I used to do this thing because I used to be going crazy. I just that type of love will never find me again. But I would just go crazy. So I would call him from my cell phone and call him from the house phone, because I'm finna tie up his line. Ain't nobody finna get through on this motherfucker. You gonna answer me. I don't know why. It just was irritating because it's like, not you answered on the private call and I could hear talking in the background, but you know, come on now, because if it was something serious, you'd have been like, oh babe, I'm doing this. So I'm stressed out. I'm like, nah, something ain't right. So I ended up texting him and I was like, where you at? Like, I thought you was gonna pull up. So he didn't text back. I'm just like, what? This is weird as hell. I go on Facebook, it's saying this nigga's active. He active on Facebook. So I'm like, this is weird. I ended up hitting up old girl and I'm like, hey, is Joe at your house? So she was like, no, he not here. So she was like, yeah, nah, he not here. He had left with my cousin. So I'm like, which one? When I said that, she left me on scene. She didn't respond. Cause which one? So I'm like, oh, this weird. So I text him. I'm like, what the fuck? Bitch, you weird as fuck. It's sad because it's like, this man could have been hemmed up in the back of a police car. And my first instinct is he's cheating on me and calling him a weird bitch. Ugh. So I'm like, you weird bitch. Da, 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 da. I'm just going in on him. I'm like, that's crazy. I gave you a chance. I will always bring that up. I feel like if you know that any little thing is going to trigger you and you're going to always bring up what you did, don't get back with that person. I'm like, I gave you chance after chance and you still doing this. And remember that last time? And I kept bringing stuff up. So then he didn't respond. Next thing you know, he ended up texting back and was like, probably like 30 minutes later, text back and was like, stop calling me. I'm trying to do something real quick. Because best believe I was still calling his phone. He like, stop calling me. I'm trying to do something real quick. I'm gonna hit you in a minute. Huh? So I was like, oh no, I'm finna go find this nigga. So I ended up putting on my red boots, because I don't know why I had these red like rubbery boots anyway. I put on my red boots and I hopped in my car and I said, I'm finna go by old girl house and I'm finna go by his house, because I'm not playing these games. Like, stop playing with me. Like, what is going on? So I ended up driving by old girl house. I don't see his car. I'm driving up and down the street too, because I'm trying to see. I'm like, okay, it'd be a lot of people in their house. I don't know where him and that bitch be looking at. Maybe in his car outside. I don't know. I'm driving up down the street. I don't see the car. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I texted him and I was like, well, don't even worry about coming over because I left. I'm not even finna be home tonight. Y'all, probably like 10 minutes after I sent that, he calling my phone. I'm like, oh, and I'm in the car, because I'm like, you're not finna play with me, even though now I'm looking for you, right? So he ended up calling me or whatever, and I end up answering. I'm like, hello? And he was like, what you talking about? Like, why are you being weird? But he kind of like whispering. So I'm like, why are you whispering? He was like, I told you, like, I'm doing something right now. Like, I'm in the field right now. So I was like, you in the field right now? Like, that's crazy. He's like, nah, like, I'm in the field right now, for real, for real. Like, I'm gonna see you in a little bit. I'm gonna come to your house in a little bit. So I'm like, what field are you in? Because I need to know. He was like, Symone, for real, like, I'm gonna call you in a minute. I'm gonna call you in a minute. So I started hearing somebody in the background coughing. So I'm like, who's coughing? And he was like, Symone, I'm gonna just call you in a minute. I'm gonna just call you in a minute. So I just heard like a laugh. A laugh? If y'all in the field, what's so funny? Who is sick? What's going on? I'm confused. I need to know answers. Y'all, I'm stressed out. I said, ain't no way. So I was like, man, you weird as fuck. I was like, it's cool. Don't even worry about it. Like, you know, just bring my ring back. Just give me my ring back. It's cool. Don't even worry about it. He like, nah, I'm gonna come to you in a minute. He's like, and where the fuck are you going? Like, you in the car? I was like, don't worry about it. I'm about to be just go with my homegirl. She asked me to come pull up on her and da 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 da. I'm just talking to her. So he like, all right, well, now I'm gonna see you in a minute. I'm gonna see you in a minute. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I end up hanging up the phone. I'm like, let me go by his house. Someone's telling me to go by his house. I go by his house, y'all. I see his car parked in the alley. His car parked in the alley. And he had tint on his car. So I'm like, hold the fuck up. Is they in the car? Y'all, why I pull up on next to his car and he end up hopping out the car. He hop out the car and he like, man, what the fuck you doing here? Smoke come out the car because clearly they hotboxing. So he like, what are you doing? Like, what you doing, cuz? Like, why you doing too much? Like, what's wrong with you? So I was like, you in the field? So he's like, nah, I was just chilling. So remember the girl that I named Turtle and then the brother with the stanky ass feet? Tell me why the brother hop out the car. So I'm like, what? So he hop out the car. So I ended up hopping out the car, put my car in park, because I don't usually even like put my car, I just be on the brakes so I could like pull off if I need to. So I put my car in park and I started getting out the car. He's like, what you doing? He trying to like keep me by the door. I said, you with Turtle? I said, Turtle, who else? I mean, I'm like, oh, whatever I named that boy, Stanky Feet, whatever, his face stinks so damn much anyway. I'm like, oh, who in the car? Like, who else up in the car? He like, nobody, don't even worry about it. Like, we just chilling. I was finna pull up on you. Like, I literally just got done in the field. Mind you, we just got off the phone. You was in the field. Now you at home. He's like, and I was just like, you know, rolling one up with my boy and I'm finna go. So I was like, who else in the car? So he was like, I was like, is she in the car? Is Lele in the car? And I'm yelling. I was like, Lele, are you in the car? I don't even know this girl, but I just know the name. So I'm just like, man, I was like, are you serious right now? I was like, no, just give me my ring. He like, man, watch out. Because I started trying to pull off his hand. And his homeboy like, man, bro, give me. Because he got the thing, you know, not a glizzy, but you know, the thing they hitting, puffing on the tree. So I didn't just say that. So he like, yeah, bro, pass it to me. So he like, hold on, but I'm trying to take the ring off his finger. Like, man, watch out, cuz you doing too much. So then I was like, nah, that's crazy. And he was like, hold on, just stay right here, just stay right here. He ended up walking over to him to give him that. I walked over to the side and I started going to his car and opened up the door. Y'all, it's not Turtle in the car, but it's two other hoes. Who the fuck is these bitches? It's not even a girl, Lele. I said, who the fuck is this? I'm like, get up out the car. Y'all get up out the car, get up out the car. I'm like, who is this? So he like, man, you doing too much, you doing too much. That's not even, they not even for me. They literally for him. He like, nah, them my homegirls. Like, it ain't even like that for real. I'm like, get up out the car, get up out the car. Like, y'all get up, y'all not finna be doing this. Get up out the car, get up out the car. I don't know why they got up out the car. Them hoes could have jumped me. But they got up out the car and he was like, man, what is you doing? Like, you doing too much. And she was like, I'm like, no, I'm like, you weird. You're weird. I'm like, it's not one thing, it's another. Like, you just doing too much. Like, you're weird. So we arguing now and oh boy just standing there and I was like, what the fuck are you looking at? Because he was just staring at me. I stayed to get into it with Joe friends. So I'm like, what the fuck is you looking at? So he was like, man, bro. So Joe like, just take it, bro. Keep it. Like, you can keep the tree. Just y'all go. Just go. They not saying nothing. They just all walked off or whatever. So I'm like, you weird. I'm over here crying. He talking to me. He like, bro, I just put up on him. He asked me if I had any trees. So I was like, all right, whatever. Them his friends, I don't know what they own. They ain't got shit to do with me. Like, I don't talk to none of them. He's like, if I did, don't you think they would have said something? I'm stressed out. And he was like, and I told him, why would you even say Lele? Why would you think she was in the car anyway? And I was like, because I hit up such and such, like the homegirl. I'm like, she says you left for her cousin. And when I asked her who, she didn't tell me who. So he was like, man, it ain't even like that. He was like, I told you I don't fuck with her. Like, I don't even want to be with her. So I was like, then what the fuck? You like, what are you doing then? And he was just like, man, Symone, okay, like, and I start telling him, I was like, and then the other night you looking at her, I'm like, then that other day when we went over to the house, I was like, you looking at her and you caring about her crying, and that's crazy, because when I cry, you call me a crybaby ass bitch, but when she cry, you want to cry. Y'all cry together. Fucking Mary J. Blige and Ja Rule ass nigga. So I'm just like, what's going on? Like, I'm stressed out. So I mentioned that, whatever. He was like, man, Symone, okay, when we was not together, me and her was just talking. I used to vent to her about you and tell her all this other stuff and how you just left me for a neighborhood. All this other stuff. He just started saying that, so trying to put it on me. He was like, and then, you know, and then we start getting close. Like, that became like my best friend, my dog, like, you know, like my road dog. So yeah, and then eventually we started talking, and I took her V card, and I said, what? I just didn't believe that, because I'm like, she lying. So I'm over here, I'm like, she's lying. He was like, nah, no, I did, because she told me it hurt or whatever. Probably wasn't wet. Probably it was dry. I'm just kidding. But I'm like, nah, she lying. He's like, nah. And I just, you know, I took her V card or whatever. And now she's just telling me like, Symone, she just telling me. I'm like, what's she telling you? He's like, Symone, like, she just telling me. I was like, what is she telling you? He's like, she just telling me like she thinks she pregnant. Y'all, when I told y'all my mother, I was like, it was like my heart started beating fast as hell. I was like, huh? I couldn't breathe. I started having a panic attack. Literally could not breathe. I'm like, and he's like, well, I'm like, she said what? Because me and Joe would always talk about how we was gonna have a baby one day. We wanted to be on 16 and pregnant, you know, just all this stuff. So now that we was like older and we both got cars now and we was a little better, we was getting married. So when he said that, I'm like, what? And he was like, yeah, like she told me she might be pregnant. So I'm like, she's lying, Joe, she's lying. I'm crying. He was like, nah, like I feel bad, I can't do her like that. I said, what about me? He was like, Symone, not like that, like, you know, I just feel so bad because, you know, like I took her V card or whatever, and I just, because y'all know I can't say the word. So he's like, and I just feel bad, like I can't do her like that. I'm like, you took mine too. He was like, let me talk regular. But he was like, but like, you know, but like since then when we broke up, you talked to other people or whatever like that. And I'm like, oh, so what? Like, what are you getting at with this? Like, I don't understand where you're going with this. He was just like, but yeah, like, you know, I just can't do her like that. Like, I feel bad. I'm gonna just have to see what she have to say. But I'm like, she's lying. I'm crying. I can't breathe. I felt like I was gonna throw up, y'all. I just felt sick to my fucking stomach because I'm like, ain't no way everything we dreamed about, y'all. We even had this kid name in mind. I ain't gonna say it. We had this kid name we used to always say if we had a daughter. And I'm like, y'all gonna name the baby? Why I asked that? I'm like, y'all gonna name the baby that? He was like, Symone, look, like I love you. Like, I promise you it ain't that. Like, you know, she said that she wouldn't even do that since we back together. Like, she wouldn't even keep it. So I'm crying like, she's lying. I'm just crying. And I was like, I gotta go. Like, I want to go home because I couldn't breathe. I felt weak. Like, I felt like I couldn't stand. I didn't want to be there. I just was like, I gotta go. Like, I'm going home. So he like, nah, don't go home. Like, don't go home. I'm going home. He was like, all right, well, leave your car here. I'm like, nah, I'm about to go home. I'm about to take my car. He's like, I'm gonna follow you. Like, I'm gonna come to your house. Like, no, like, just don't leave. Like, man, you making me feel so bad. And he got, like, he looked hurt in his eyes too. And I'm just thinking like, that's why that nigga, when we was driving down the street, he was looking stressed out driving because he wanted to tell me this I'm stressed, y'all. I'm stressed. I literally got in the car, start playing my, don't ask me why, but I remember I was driving down, dang, I ain't gonna say what, but I was driving down the fucking street, y'all. Literally screaming to the top of my lungs, playing Monica Out Across the Ocean for You. And I was crying, eyes so watery and blurry, I can't even fucking see. And I'm screaming, I'm like, I would've gave you the phone. I'm just crying. He's trying to call me, I'm not answering the phone because I'm stressed. I was stressed, even though I knew this is not somebody she even want to be with, but at that point, I didn't know that. And I was just thinking like, not everything we wanted, she's getting it, she's lying. I just was like, she's lying. And I'm just screaming because I'm like, what would you do this to me? I'm in that car losing my mind, y'all. I was talking to myself. I'm in there screaming, talking to myself, crying, asking questions like he's in the car and even can hear me. And I'm just like, why would he do me like this? I couldn't see. I had to pull over for a little bit because I was crying so bad and could not get see, y'all. I was hurt. I didn't realize he was following me because I never seen him hop in his car for real. And plus, I was going through it. He ended up pulling up on the side of me and he was like, you good? Like, come on. I was like, why would you do this to me? And I was just crying bad. He was like, come on, like, you know, I can't be right here. Like, because there was somebody else hood and it's nighttime. He was like, you know, I can't be right here. So I'm like, just go. Like, I'm good. Just go. So he like, man, come on. I'm like, just go. I'm gonna go home. Just go. Like, I'm good. I sat there for a cool minute just with my head on the steering wheel fucking crying until the police came and like flickered their lights like, bitch, what is you doing? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. I drove off. I'm crying. I'm trying to wipe my tears, but it's like, it was like a flood of water coming through my eyes. It's like if, I don't know. It was bad, y'all. I got home and he was there. He was trying to talk to me and I was like, no, it's cool. I didn't want to go in my house because my grandma in the living room, I could see her watching Bewitched on the couch. I had to walk past her. I didn't want her to see me crying. So I'm like, gonna sit in my car. I'm like, I'm gonna just sit out here until I get myself together. He was just like, no, like, I'm so sorry, Symone. Like, it ain't even like that. Like, I promise you, like, you know, like, I want to be with you. I promise. Like, we together. Remember, we got these rings. We together. Like, you know, and everything's gonna be okay. Like, and yeah, and I know I don't want to do that to her, but like, you know, it's okay. Like, we good. And I was crying. I was like, no, I can't. Like, I'm just crying. I'm going crazy. I'm going through it, y'all. I was hurt. My little heart was broken. It was broke into like 17 million pieces. And it was just like, I was so mad because I started having flashbacks of when he put the glizzy out on me, and then I had went to the Bay Area to my sister's house. And I was just thinking like, why did you get back in a situation with this dude? Because even after that situation with the whole glizzy thing, then remember when I told you like when my sister homegirl Dominique had came out here and he wanted me to meet him in an alley to talk late night while he cleaned it was just, I just would think like, you don't just, like, this man don't deserve you. Why are you putting yourself through this? And then you over here heartbroken like this. And I was sick, y'all. When I tell y'all, I couldn't eat for a few days. It was bad. It was bad. But it's a part 2 to this, because Joe just had me, after that, he was like, not going around him. Like, after that, it was probably like, for them days that I was just in the house down bad, I know my grandma probably was thinking like, what the fuck is wrong with her? They probably thought I was pregnant. How I was in that house sick. I couldn't eat. Like, I was throwing up, literally. I would be at home throwing the fuck up. And I would act, he'd come over, he'd just come over and like try to bring me soup or bring me some Skittles, because I liked Skittles and mango Snapples. And he'd just be like, are you okay? You didn't eat your Skittles from last time? I'm like, I'm okay. But I just wanted to be in the house, just sad, depressed, didn't want to talk to nobody. I was hurt. It was, because y'all ain't gonna lie, even though I was like sick to my stomach and I couldn't eat, and I was like physically like, you know when like stress could make you physically sick, like you literally stress could kill you, and that shit was really making me like physically ill. And it was just crazy because like for like a good, I want to say maybe like a week or so, man, that's all that man needed was a week to waste my time. He was around me, he was always there with me and stuff like that. But after that, everything shook up, and it was like things just changed for the worse. Because I was thinking everything was good. He was there with me. He wasn't talking to them. He wasn't even talking to his homegirl, to where she would hit me up and like, is Joe cool? We ain't heard from him. What's going on? And I was just like, you know, everything is good. He told me I didn't have to worry about nothing. Everything was good, even though I was like kind of healing and getting back to myself. But he was just up under me the whole time. But y'all, tell me why I don't like leaving y'all on cliffhangers. But this story's already long. And that next part is just crazy, because that's when me and him really broke up for real, for real. We really broke up and was done. That was the big, when we really was like, oh yeah, this is it. This is done. This is done. But that shit just get even more sick, because y'all gonna be like, Symone, what the fuck? But that's it for this story time. I'll tell y'all the next one whenever y'all want to. I'm gonna post again on Valentine's Day, I promise. So I'll see y'all in a few days. I love you guys so much, and I'll see y'all on my next one. Peace out.